Okay, for question 6, we have to find the values of b for which b plus 1 x squared plus bx plus b plus 1 equals 0 has one solution, or equal real roots. Okay, again, that one solution or that equal real roots should signal to us that the discriminant should be equal to 0. So when we say one solution, all we mean by that is that we don't have two distinct solutions. We obviously have two roots, but they just happen to be the same. So two equal real roots or one solution. So we have to be careful here, I suppose, as well of our letters. But as it happens, b is b minus 4 by a is b plus 1, and c is also b plus 1. Okay, we want this to be equal to 0 because we want it to have equal real roots. So we continue on, b squared minus 4 by, let's multiply out these brackets, we get b squared plus 2b plus 1, and that again we want to be equal to 0. So our next line, b squared minus 4b squared minus 8b minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, we can move forward with this one, minus 8b minus 4 is equal to 0. If we multiply across by minus 1, just to make our equation a little bit easier for us to deal with, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us 12 and add to give us 8. So those two numbers would be 6 and 2. Again, we're factorising out, we're solving our equation. And overall we should get b is minus 2 over 3 and b is equal to minus 2. Okay, so those are our two values of b for which the equation will have one equal root. So either of those values is a valid answer, and we should have both of them there as the answer for this question. The next part says to show that 4ax squared minus 4ax plus a plus c squared equals 0 has no real roots for a an element of n, c an element of r, and c is not equal to 0. Okay, no real roots. No real roots means that it should be less than 0, that our discriminant should be less than 0. So we can give it a go, we can see what we get. So b is minus 4a. So we get 16a squared, and we have minus 4 by, let's multiply out these two brackets first, so 4a squared plus 4ac squared, 16a squared minus 16a squared minus 16ac squared. So our 16a squared minus 16a squared will obviously go to 0, and we will have minus 16ac squared. Okay, so we have to think about this one and be able to say whether this is going to be positive, negative, etc. We want it to be less than 0. So minus 16 is always less than 0. If we have c squared, we can say that anything squared is always going to be positive. So therefore minus 16 multiplied by a positive number will be a negative value. And then we have to say, is a always positive? Well, we are told in the question a is an element of n. N is the natural numbers, so that means a is greater than 0. So a is positive. So since we have a is positive, c squared is also positive. So two positive numbers multiplied by a negative number means that minus 16ac squared is less than 0. And therefore we have no real roots. So two complex roots, or no real roots. So therefore no real roots.